Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, I'll give you a quick little overview. Gonna be a quick one. I'm recording this about 90 minutes before upload, so it has to be relatively quick. There's been a pretty big hot buy list update. Every Monday, I create a hot buy list, and I will just walk you through what's changed on that and why. Quick weekend recap. I spent this weekend out in Connecticut, out with PK. So I will walk you through the stream that we did. I'll walk you through a little bit of the extracurriculars, but not a whole presentation, not a whole Collecticon-like recap that I do sometimes. A status update on the Wholesale Packs, and I'll show you that tab on my website. I'll talk about Collecticon New Jersey. A lot of these things tie together, and I'll do a little bit of a inventory recap, last week's video, ebbs and flows, further going into that a little bit because there's been some updates on that, and all this stuff ties together. Just a little state of the Catch 'em All Collectibles operation update, as I have in some of my recent videos. But yeah, continuing on, let me show you my website. So here's my website. If you want to consign with me, kind of a separate conversation, but that is always there. That is my Fanatics Vault address. Those are the rates that I can sell your cards, fully insured process, all that good stuff. Reach out to me if you ever want to consign. But the buy list, as we talked about, sell me your packs. Every Monday, I update the buy list. Every Monday, I timestamp there. So you don't have to wonder, is this a fresh buy list? Is this just a leftover one from last week? Is this not actually what Dan is buying? My default rates are buying slabs and singles for 70, 80%, somewhere in there. But this week, as you'll see here, maybe you can't see that well. I'll give you a larger one. Here's the larger one right there. So as you see on my hot buy list for November 10th, 2025, Evolvus Guys, actually, it's not too common, but I was buying Evolvus Guys last week for $28 a pack. I bought 1,000 packs at $28 a pack, and I updated. I looked at the prices have just dipped some. The box prices have dipped some. The pack prices have dipped some. I stocked up a lot of them as they were going down. Maybe a little bit too hot I went, but I'm still buying them at 80+%. So a few weeks ago, 80+%, you had to be 25, 26. I went 28 to get more coming in. And I don't know if something came out with Evolvus Guys in it. I have a feeling it did because I had a couple people telling me like, hey, I broke down this, hey, I broke down that. Buy these packs for me. Lost Origin, still $10 plus. Prismatic, $7. We have been selling a lot of Prismatic lately. I will make a video coming soon on why I still think Prismatic will go under MSRP eventually. But Prismatic's gone down in price quite a bit throughout the year. It's still a long ways from MSRP. But hey, I'm buying at $7. They've been selling on streams again. It's kind of like faith in humanity restored. Price gets cheaper. More people are actually buying Prismatic. So maybe I'll be wrong, but I'll talk in a video, an entire video, why I think I'll be right that it will go under MSRP. All that rambling to get to the new part of the buy list. I haven't had slabs and singles on my hot buy list in quite some time at above 80%. So reach out to me if you have any mint plus slabs. What I mean by that, PSA, CGC 9, BGS 9 or higher, mint, gem mint, pristine, and so on. There are many slabs that still fall under that $100 range in the 9+ grade area. So I will buy those at 80+%. Reach out to me. More things are in the works on that. I actually might be able to buy $100+ slabs at 80+% in the future. If and when that comes through, to fruition, I will definitely update you guys. But for now, sub 100 for the live streams. A lot of things going on with instant rips and so on. I might be able to buy some deep quantity of high-end slabs for very attractive prices in the future. Near mint singles, $3 to $30. Ideally, I can't take, like, I need to see lists. We'll go back and forth on the pricing. Generally, if it's reasonable Pokemon, if it's not 1,000 of the same $4 lower popularity species, I will be able to take them all. But if it's 1,000 quantity of some promo that's like $3.01, and I'll have to sell one a stream for the next century, yeah, we'll talk about it in the DMs. We'll talk about it in email if you reach out. But looking for a decent variety of decent, relatively popular Pokemon in the near mint singles, $3 to $30 range. But when I visited PK, Dan, why are you buying singles and slabs again? I knew he was getting thin on them. Our main business strategy for the live streams is to sell packs. The lifeblood of our stream is selling packs. And we use singles and slabs to not have dead air. We run dollar auctions on singles and slabs to get the packs sold. Well, I didn't realize how thin he had been running, So if you do follow the streams, expect a decent re-injection, hopefully, through the use of this hot buy list. But as always, some people think that they see the hot buy list and they're like, oh man, Dan is only buying Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, and Prismatic. That's not the case. I have a price for every set back to XY base, and I am buying all of these. XY and Sun and Moon packs were on my hot buy list a couple weeks ago. I was actually buying at 80+%. XY, Sun and Moon, for those who don't know, some of the boxes have dipped, and TCG players kind of slow to react. I was actually buying some loose packs of XY, Sun and Moon sets. I was buying them for less than some of the sealed boxes were selling for. So I need to be better about that. Running this buy list where it's automatically updated from TCG player. It's an imperfect system that some people find ways to take advantage of, and I'm not mad at those people. I had some people reach out to me like, hey, will you take a booster box as loose packs? And I'm like, does that actually make sense for you? Oh yeah, you're actually paying more for loose packs than I bought a box for. And it's like, yes, I will take them. And next week I will actually revise my buy list because of that. But anyways, continuing on, little bit of a weekend recap, as I mentioned. So the hot buy list update is there. Let me do the wholesale pack update since I'm here. I mentioned in my video last week, I don't understand how the market price on Pokemon Go is $8.36, but I was able, so let me update as of today. The only thing I have left on my wholesale buy list, and their wholesale sell list, I guess, there's a tab on my website, as I showed right here. If you ever want to see, it's going to be minimum $5,000 spend. It's going to be what I have excess of that I would sell in $5,000 chunks. Today it is only Pokemon Go. And why is that? Let me talk through a little bit why I think that is, why that might be. I don't know how the market price is so high. We've sold 0 Pokemon Go. I sold in the past month since I made that first video, since I made that that Instagram post, that Instagram story that I talked about a couple weeks ago. I have successfully sold over 40,000 packs. So back in the spring, I had 100,000 packs of Pokemon cards, 100,000 packs of Sword, Shield, and Scarlet Violet booster packs. And I said by the fall, I wanted to get down to like 50 or 60,000. Well, I didn't do it. And I talked about that in that whole video. But so what do? I wake up with 100,000 packs in November, in October, it was at the time. I decide to try to liquidate some to put it into other things that will have better sell-through, that won't be clogging up PK and Ponga storage areas with a decade's worth of packs for the live streams. So I sold 20,000 packs to one repacking business. I sold 5,000 here, 10,000 there. I ended up selling about 40 to 45,000 packs total. And the liquidity, more videos to come on the things I'm going to be doing with that liquidity. Again, potentially selling slabs to me and all that. But nobody would take Pokemon Go. Nobody, like I was trying to get 90% of market on certain packs. I was trying to get 80, 85% on other ones. Nobody would touch Pokemon Go. And it's not that they wouldn't touch it. It's not that they wouldn't touch it at 80%, 85%. They didn't want it at 70%. It was actually mind-blowing to me. It's actually mind-blowing to me how the price on TCG Player is so high, how the demand for it is so low. And it's not that they wouldn't use it whatsoever. It's that a lot of them already had so much. I think a lot of people generally buy at 70%, 75, 80%. They have a percentage they buy at. And for whatever reason, the TCG, the disparity between what the market price is on TCG Player and what the packs, like what packs are out there. I know Rusty, TCA Gaming, made a video not too long ago, and he was showing like his loft, he was showing his space and a lot of his different products he had stored in deep quantity. The amount of those 750 count distributor like pack boxes that he had of Pokemon Go was absolutely crazy. But anyways, that's my little Pokemon Go rant. I only have those available right now. Expect, so not at most, the wholesale pack tab will probably update monthly at most. The new contacts that I've made to repackers to be able to offload the things that aren't selling as quickly as I can buy them is something that I will utilize, and I probably won't have to utilize the wholesale pack tab too frequently. But anyways, how did the weekend go? That kind of covers everything I wanted to cover. Sell me singles, sell me slabs. If you're interested, reach out. I'm paying 80+%, fully insured, inbound, consigning, all that stuff as normal. But what went on this weekend? What went on this weekend? I just looked over at Discord, and I posted my hot buy list in Discord, which I will flash again, and I see Ponga replying saying, please sell him singles. I need new stuff bad. So sorry, Ponga. Sorry, PK. I knew you didn't have a lot for singles and slabs, but I didn't quite know how dark it was until I visited PK. And yeah, I'll talk about the weekend. So I drove out to Connecticut, and I loaded up the minivan. I loaded up the minivan with good stuff. Let me see if I can actually pull up. I will just tell you like what I brought out to PK, what I took back from PK on this whole inventory recalibration thing. Where did I put it? Right here. So when I drove out to PK, I had my minivan filled with Lost Origin, not filled. I had these in my minivan, not filled. It did come back filled though. So I brought out Lost Origin packs. I brought out Evolving Skies packs, Prismatic Evolutions packs. Coincidence or not a coincidence at all. Those are the 3 packs that were on my hot buy list last week. We are selling them in high quantity, highly desirable, highly demanded sets. So I brought out Lost Origin, Evolving Skies, Prismatic Evolutions, Black Bolt. I brought out Destined Rivals. I brought out 151. I brought out the goods, and I brought out a lot. If you were there on Saturday night in our stream, we had X, Y, and Sun and Moon packs that we had not had in, like, we opened some Phantom Forces actually. We opened some Cosmic Eclipse. We opened a lot of different sets. We opened we opened some sets that we had never opened on stream before, I think. I don't think we have ever opened Phantom Forces before. But anyways, I brought out good stuff, and then what did I take back with me? As part of a large upcoming deal, if you're going to CollectCon New Jersey in a couple weeks, let me know. I will be there. I'm actually like driving out a bunch of packs to there and doing a deal out that way in person before the convention. But I will be around. I will be present at New Jersey CollectCon only Saturday. I will be there Saturday. I'll be there Friday night as well. So Friday night, Saturday night, I'll be around. I'm leaving early Sunday morning, so I can't get too crazy Saturday night. But I will. I'll be out and about late Friday morning. I would say Friday night into Saturday morning. For sure. But what did I take back? What were the things that PK had too much of that weren't selling? Stellar Crown, Shrouded Fable. Twilight Masquerade does sell decently, but he had so much of it. He had like years worth. I didn't take back any sets that would put him at under like 6 months quantity and any of the better sets, but I took back a lot of Paradox Rift. I took back a lot of Scarlet Violet Base. I took back a little bit of Silver Tempest, a little bit of Chilling Rain, just because, again, great, like good sets, better sets than the ones that I took back in deep quantity, but they're just, he had so much. He had years worth, and I'm not trying to bog him down that way. Every year, several new sets come out, and Chinese and Japanese. I took some of the random Chinese and Japanese sets. Maybe I'll use my wholesale tab to sell. The quantity isn't great though. I don't want to sell like that. I'll probably just use Snipe. I'll probably use Sealed Chist consignments for those. But I did take back chunks of things that weren't selling nearly at the rate that he had the inventory. It was a nice, refreshing inventory calibration. I came with a very lightly loaded minivan, so only like half a dozen to a dozen 4-row like bulk storage boxes. And I left with everything I said. I left with a full minivan. The minivan was weighted down, probably pushing the limits of the payload capacity, as I will be on the way to New Jersey CollectCon. But how'd the stream go? So the stream, we kind of set this up like on a whim a month ago. It's just like, hey, we should meet up sometime. I haven't been out to PK since the March. We did a Fossil First Edition box break. I hadn't been out that way, and it's drivable. It's a little over 4 hours for me, so it's drivable. So I'm like, hey, we can talk about this in theory. We can talk about this like we should do this. If we don't set a date, it'll never happen. So like a month ago, we just set a date. We set a date for October 8th, I think the stream date was. And glad we did it. It just so happened to work out well. We had not planned at all, but we had 9,880 followers or something like that going into Saturday. And so it's like, hey, well, let's give away some stuff. We're probably gonna be able to to hit 10,000 followers. And so I put out a little bit of a bounty, I guess. I'm like, regardless of how the stream goes, regardless of what happens, I'm visiting PK. It's a fun time. Big dollar single auctions, dollar slab auctions, dollar sealed auctions. A lot of them. We did a lot of good stuff. We're going to give away $1,000 in product. Just appreciation, whatever, all that stuff. We're going to give away $1,000 minimum. And if and when we get to 10,000 followers live on the stream, we will give away $2,000. Thankfully, we did. We got there. We streamed till like 3:45. The stream went really well. Sold a lot of good stuff. Ripped some packs. It was a good time. first stream I'd been on in quite a while. I think I did January base box with PK. I did Jungle February with Ponga, and then I did March. I did the Fossil box with PK. I don't think I had been on a stream since then. It had been quite a while. Maybe there was another one that I did. Maybe there was another one I did with Ponga after that at some point, but my memory is not that amazing. But anyways, it was a good time. It was a good stream. We moved a lot of stuff, and we also, the families got together. The families got together. Video's going to be ending soon, just recapping the personal portion of this trip. PK's got a couple young kids. I've got a couple young kids. They hit it off. My kids love terrorizing our own home, playing with all their toys, pulling them all out, making a huge mess. They got to do that at PK's house. Sorry to PK and Mrs. PK. But the kids had a great time. They got along really well. We also went to the aquarium. We drove over to Mystic. He's a little ways from there, but a lot closer than I am. So we went to Mystic, Connecticut, and we hit up the aquarium there. Kids had a great time. So yeah, it was a great trip. It was nice to see in person for the first time in several months what he had too much of, take it away from him, what he didn't have enough of. I brought some, tying in with the hot buy list. We're gonna get you both PK and Ponga. We're gonna get you better suited for having decent items for the dollar auctions in the future. But yeah, with that, I think that is everything. 17-minute video. By the time I'm done here, I have 80 minutes to upload it, to thumbnail it, to title it, all that stuff. Hopefully, Mr. Consistent is staying consistent and posting this video at 1 p.m. But with that, there are some exciting videos coming. I guess I'll talk about some of the upcoming videos here on my list. I'm gonna talk about my end game. I know at the end of like once a month, I'll say what videos are coming soon. There's some videos that I've talked about, that I've teased, that I've still not made. Those videos all still apply if they're at the back of your mind. But I'm going to talk about my end game. I feel like I've talked about it before, but I haven't talked about it in a while. What is my end game with this business? What is my end game in life? I'm going to make a video about 400 is my lucky number. There's been a lot of plays that I made lately where I bought 400 or something. Most of them have gone quite well. I'm going to talk about the ones that you might know about, the ones that you might be thinking about, some that you aren't aware of that I've made as well, some that I might make in the future, and maybe you'll reach out and you'll sell me 400 or something, because it's been going well when I've bought 400 of an item. And another one is, I feel like it's gonna, I need to think of the best way to frame it, the best way to title it, but I'm going to talk about the coin bubble that happened in the 1980s. And I think in Pokemon a lot, we say, we're Pokemon, we're modern Pokemon. You can't use old Pokemon to talk about what's happening today. You can't use comics, you can't use coins, you can't use anything, because only Pokemon can be used to talk about Pokemon, and only recent Pokemon. It's a silly thing that people say in the space. People get very irrationally exuberant in times like this. I think there's a lot of that going on. I'm not gonna say that we are going to one-for-one repeat the 90s coin bubble or the 80s coin bubble, but I'm gonna just talk about what it was, a little bit of a history lesson. Frankly, like, I know a little bit about it. I want to learn more about it. So it's gonna be a learning process for me, and then I will kind of like show what I learned, and I will talk with, and again, I'll maybe at the end of it, I'll attribute some percentage chance that I think that will happen in Pokemon, and I'll talk about why and why not, and I think it'll be a fun video. Maybe it'll end up being a live stream instead of a video. But those are some of my additional upcoming videos to add to the backlog that I already have out there publicly. Now I extended it to 19 minutes. With that, I appreciate you all watching. Give me a fish emoji, because I had a good time and going to check out some fish, whales, dolphins, sharks. Give me one of those emojis if you made it all the way to the end. Mystic Aquarium was a good time. Thanks, PK, for having us over, Mrs. PK, and little PKs. Appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.